Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam dear Vaishnavas. Today we are reading the book Beyond Birth and Death, chapter number 2, Elevation of Death. There are different kinds of transcendentalists who are called yogis, hatha yogis, jnana yogis, dhyana yogis and bhakti yogis. And all of them are eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. The word yoga means to link up, and the yoga systems are meant to enable us to think with the transcendental world. As mentioned in the previous chapter, originally we are all connected to the Supreme Lord, but now we have been affected by material contamination. The process is that we have to return to the spiritual world. And that process of linking up is called yoga. Another meaning of the word yoga is plus. At the present moment, we are minus God or minus the Supreme. When we add Krishna or God to our lives, this human form of life becomes perfect. At the time of death, we have to finish that process of perfection. During our lifetime, we have to practice the method of approaching that perfection so that at the time of death, when we have to give up this material body, that perfection can be realized. Prayana kale mana sachilena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva Bhruvor paranam avishya samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. One who at the time of death fixes his life air between the eyebrows and in full devotion engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavad Gita 8.10. Just as a student studies a subject for 4 or 5 years and then takes his examination and receives a degree, similarly, with the subject of life, if we practice during our lives for the examination at the time of death, and if we pass the examination, we are transferred to the spiritual world. Our whole life is examined at the time of death. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajate ante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti kaunteya sadatat bhava bhavitavaham. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. Bhagavad Gita 8.6. There is a Bengali proverb that says that whatever one does for perfection will be tested at the time of his death. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes what one should do when giving up the body. For the Dhyana Yogi, meditator Sri Krishna speaks the following verses. Yat aksharam veda vido vadanti visanti yat yatayo vitaraga Yat ischanto brahmachairam charanti tatte padam sangrahina pravakshim sarvadvarani samyamya manuridi nirudhyaya cha murdhini adhyayat manaparnam astito yogandharanam. Persons learned in the Vedas who uttered Omkara and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head, one establishes himself in yoga. Bhagavad Gita 8.11 till 12. In the yoga system, this process is called pratyahara. which means just the opposite. Although during life the eyes are engaged in seeing worldly beauty, at death one has to retract the senses from their objects and see the beauty within similarly. The ears are accustomed to hearing so many sounds in the world, but at the moment of death one has to hear the transcendental Omkara from within. Om iti ikaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yaha prayati tyajan deham sayati parmagatim. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Bhagavad Gita 8.13. In this way, all the senses have to be stopped in their external activities and concentrated on the form of Vishnu Murti, the form of God. The mind is very turbulent, but it has to be fixed on the Lord in the heart. When the mind is fixed within the heart and the life air is transferred to the top of the head, one can attain perfection in yoga. At this point, the yogi determines where he is to go. In the material universe, there are innumerable planets, and beyond this universe, there is the spiritual universe. The yogis have information of these places from Vedic literatures. Just as one going to America can get some idea what the country is like by reading books, one can also have knowledge of the spiritual planets by reading Vedic literatures. The yogi knows all these descriptions and he can transfer himself to any planet he likes without the help of spaceships. Space travel by mechanical means is not the accepted process for elevation to other planets. Perhaps with a great deal of time, effort and money, a few men may be able to reach other planets by material means, spaceships, spacesuits, etc. But this is a very cumbersome and impractical method. In any case, it is not possible to go beyond the material universe by mechanical means. The generally accepted method for transferal to higher planets is the practice of the meditational yoga system or jnana system. The bhakti yoga system, however, is not to be practiced or transferal to any material planet. For those who are servants of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, are not interested in any planets in this material world, because they know that whatever planet one enters in the material sky, the four principles of birth, old age, disease and death are present. On higher planets, the duration of life may be longer than on this earth, but death is there nonetheless. By material universe, we refer to those planets where birth, old age, disease and death reside. And by spiritual universe, we refer to those planets where there is no birth, old age, disease and death. Those who are intelligent do not try to elevate themselves to any planet within the material universe. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. I served Śrila Prabhupāda today. Thank you.